Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time once again with Sudoku Sleuth, and we've got another phenomenal puzzle for you. And I can say that with some confidence because it's. Let me take a look again and just refresh my memory. It is a 96% rating puzzle from our dear creator, Willpower. And, I'm not surprised by these high ratings. He seems to be just striking gold constantly, and I'm just absolutely looking forward to this. One thing before we take a look at the puzzle. So this is a puzzle titled Scene of the Accident. And you can see, finally, we're back to the different colors again, a vibrant thumbnail, as opposed to the line art, which really I'm not a big fan of. It's useful, but it's just a bit bland for my taste. So we've got colors again, and we've got Sleuth, having grown a mustache, seems to have joined, like sort of the wild, wild west, and he's investigating if there was any foul play as part of this accident, standing next to the ambulance there. Now, in the actual diagram, which you'll see in a second, you can see that there's an individual being resuscitated. But I think, for the viewers of this channel, I have censored all of this. You just have the detective standing by the sideline, letting the first responders from the ambulance basically help the victim. So, enough of this. Let's take a look at the puzzle. So we have Scene of the Accident by Willpower, and the following set of rules. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box, such as this one. We have numbers on the red line are at least 4 apart from their neighbors on the line. So this line here, which you can see is almost like, this definitely looks like some sort of ambulance, with the cross. Or it could be a first aid kit, maybe. But essentially what this is saying, and this could be called Dutch lines, for example, is if this was a 4, either side of it, as in the cells that are a neighbor to it, have to be 4 or more away. In this particular case, because it's a 4, that would be 8 and 9. Now, the key thing to remember about Dutch lines, unlike German whisper lines, they're cousins or neighbors next door, is I can absolutely put a 5 on here. And I can have something such as a 1 down there and a 9 up here, and that would be totally fine. So what normally happens on German whispers lines, in that you end up moving between low polarity and high polarity, as in 1, 2, 3, or 4, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Unfortunately, Dutch lines, you can do weird things such as, well, it's blue, then grey, and then red, unlike not going back to blue again. So something we're going to have to watch out for as we actually try and solve this puzzle. Now, numbers on purple lines are a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order. So that would normally be called Rembrandt lines, and essentially it means if, for example, let's do this one, it's a bit simpler. If this happens to be a 1, then you know that this line, which is 6 cells long, is composed of the digits 1 through to 6. And you do not necessarily have to put them in any specific order. So it was a 5-cell Rembrandt line. Ignore that. But you get what I mean, as in you have to have all the digits that are consecutive. Let's assume the 5 can actually go on a double, on a black crop key dot for a second, and it can be placed in any order. Now, I have restarted my desktop, so I'm kind of surprised this bug where the lines are disappearing is back again. I don't know if it's a software update from Sudoku Pad, or I actually don't know what's causing this now. Maybe I will get in touch with Sven and just see if anyone else is seeing it and reporting it. Right, Rembrandt lines explained, that's the purple lines. We can clearly repeat digits on there. Sorry, not repeat digits on there because they have to be a consecutive set of numbers based on the length of the line. Now, what else do we have? Numbers in cages sum to the numbers in the top left corner. So, for example, this cage here, which you can see outlined with this dashed line, sums up to 5. So these 2 cells are either 1, 4 or 2, 3 to sum up to 5. And there's another cage here, which is 45, and another cage here, which is 28. It's 28, very suspicious number. I'll take a look at that almost certainly as soon as we start. What else do we have? Numbers do not repeat in cages. Very familiar sort of killer cage rule sets. So I will have to use the 28 as an example. So this cage here, which I imagine is 7 cells big, yes it is. What it's saying is, for example, if this is a 1, none of these, including the ones that could be a 1 normally under Sudoku, such as this one, because it's not seen by this one, nor that one, cannot work. It has to be unique digits within the cage. And then lastly, we have numbers with a black dot between them are in a ratio of 1 or 2 to 1. So my example here earlier when I placed a 1 means that this has to be a 2. A better example would be if this is a 2, this would either have to be 1 or 4. It's not a 1 obviously because of Sudoku, but you get what I mean, as in it has to be a multiple of 2 joining these two. Now there are no negative constraints because not all possible dots are given. There is no shortage of rules. I mean, a quick comment obviously on the diagram. You know, Will Power is, I'd say, infamous now for his stickmen diagrams. And that's why I said this feels like some sort of first aid kit with kind of a traditional red cross. It looks like there is sort of a first responder that is trying to resuscitate some kind of accident victim there. That's my interpretation of it anyway. Well, if you want to help save the victims of this accident, link will be in the description down below, as per usual. Looking forward very much to your comments. A 96% rating is a treat. We don't really get many of those coming round. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how we get on. So, 28 cage is very suspicious. And you can see before I even counted the cage size, I guessed that it will be a 7-cell cage. Now, the reason I say that is I happen to know the triangular numbers from 1 through to 9. So if you try and sum up the numbers 1 to 7, so 1 plus 2 plus 3, all the way up to 7, you will actually get to 28. And in 7 cells, 28 is the absolute minimum that you can get to. So these cells are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's the solution to this 28 cage. Now, none of these are 1. We also have black crop dots, which is actually going to be quite helpful. So none of these are 1. This is not 5 or 7. I was tempted to sort of pencil mark what this is with this black crop dot, but I'm actually going to pass on that for the moment and just think about something else. I'm so easily distracted, as you can see these days. Let me think about this for a second. So if this is a 2, I think we've broken the puzzle. Now remember, I said this 5 cage in my example is made up of either 1, 4 or 2, 3. But I really want to distinguish them because it's either 1, 4 or 2, 3. Now if I use a 2 in here, I'm either going to put a 1, breaking both options, the 1, 4 and the 2, 3, or I'm going to put a 4, again breaking both options, the 2, 3 and the 1, 4. So this cannot be a 2. If this is a 4, this would have to be an 8. Which is starting to feel a little bit cramped for me. The reason I say it's feeling a bit, it's not possible. And the reason I sort of made that deduction quickly is because remember, we're on a Rembrandt line here. So between 4 and 8, I need to place 5 and 7. Well, I can't place either of them on here because that's a black Kropke pair. So somehow I'm going to have to put both 5 and 7 in this single cell. So that's not 4 or 8, that is a 3-6 pair. A 3-6 pair tells me this 5 is 1 or 4 because 3 is not available, therefore it's not a 2-3 pair. Now, because I've got a 3-6 pair as well as 4, take a look at what happens here. That's 3-6 gone, that's 4 gone. It is made up of 2, 5, or 7. Three and 6 means I need 4 and 5 between them. Remember, the 5 cannot be on the crop key dot. So that's the 5. I need to have a 4. The 4 is either joined with an 8, which is not available. It is joined with a 2. I have placed 1, 2, 4, and 8. This can only be 3, 6. This can only be 7 and 9. That's not a 7 anymore. These are not 2 or 5. I did remove 2 and 5, didn't I? 5, no, I actually added it back in. So that's not 2 or 5. This could actually be everything I've just listed. This could be the 1 and a 2, because the 2 is over here in the cage. Could also be 3, 6 and another 3, 6. No, it can't be. Look at this. If it's 3, 6, that's another 3, 6. That's another 3, 6. That's another 3, 6. Now, because of this weird shape that it has, this is actually possible. This could be 6, 3, 6, 3. I've not broken any Sudoku rules, but 3, 6 in here has broken this little cell there. So this is not 3, 6. So let me just rewind that part of me. I don't remember what were all the options. And therefore this is 1 or 4. And therefore this is 2 or 8. 4, 8, 4. I guess I can go back to 8. Let me just actually fill this in because I know what this is. I can't put a 3, 6 earlier, as I said, because of this cell. So the 3, 6s are not in this pair. That's a 3, 6. Therefore, this is another 3, 6. And therefore, these are made up of 4 and 8 in here. Now, I almost certainly know the running order of this. So I could do 1, 2, 4, 8. Let me actually just fill this in because I think this is the correct order. I could do 1, 2, 4, 8. I could also do 4, 8, 4, 8. So this is 4, 8 in this order, for sure. These have to be 4 apart, so I'm almost certain we can actually distinguish. Because if this is a 3, this would have to be an 8, can't be a 2. If this is a 6, this would have to be a 2, it cannot be an 8, it's too close. Now these two are different, but these two are the same. Which is a shame. I was kind of hoping that they would be different because then I can eliminate... No, clearly they had to be the same. Because there is another, the flip side, this cell is in this cage. It's just in one of these 3 cells. We just don't know which one. Now we've placed an 8 on this REM band line. 3, 3, another 3. Is that genuinely a 9-cell REM band line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not very helpful. That's basically all the cells. The reason I'm pausing here for a second is I'm actually thinking about these 2 cells for a second. This one in particular, I'm going to actually color it. It sees a huge amount of this cell, of this REM band line. So this blue cell, given this REM band line is essentially the digits 1 to 9, this blue cell has to be on it somewhere. And it's essentially either in here or there. Here's another piece of logic actually. 2 5s. We have 2 5s again. We've obviously got the 4 as well, but we've got 2 5s. So I know there are no 2 5s on here. I know this 2 5 is not there. Where is it? It's not on the 8. It's not the 1 3 4 6 7. It's not the 1 4. That's the other 2 5. These two are actually the same. 5 cannot be on a black Kropke dot. That's 2. That's 5. That's 2. This is a 1 or 4, making a 1-4 pair. There's an 8 in here. I guess one of the 7 9s is there, and then the other 9, 7 or 9 is in here with the 8. So this is made up of a 7 9, this 3 6, and then a 1. It's not very helpful. I think though, look at this black Kropke dot. I've already placed in this box and in this column basically all the other options for this black Kropke dot. 1 2, 4 8, 3 6. This has to be a 1 2 pair. This 2, this 1 tells me the order. And now what we have in here is what I said is a 3 6 or 7 9 to complete this very strange row setup that I have. Let me think this through. I think I've got another thing. Actually, I now know this is a 4 because I put a 1 on the Rembrandt line and they're not repeating. It doesn't actually help me determine which one is the high digit and low digit, unfortunately. This is not 1 or 4. I want to take it a step further. This is 3 6. Reason I'm saying that is I only have one of the 7 9s in here. Actually, I only have one of the 3 6s in here. And the second one cannot be there because I've already pencil marked them in the box. So this is the second 3 6. I have one of the 7 9s in here. This is the second 7 9. This is the 8. This is the second 7 and 9 in the box, which will match one of these. And now I need another 7 9 with a 5. Wow. This is more involved than I was expecting. 3 6s have been pencil marked. This is a 1 7 pair now. Again, doesn't help us resolve the polarity, unfortunately. It does remove 7s from here. So 45 is also very suspicious. I'm guessing that's a 9-cell cage. That's 3. That's another 3. That's another 3. So that's all of the digits 1 to 9. One of these is 3 6, therefore, and the other one is 2 4 or 8. Excuse me. And I actually know which one is received. Sorry. Excuse me for a second. Let me pause and cough a bit. Sorry about that. Feels almost like I'm getting a bit of hay fever, if I'm honest. So I was saying I need, basically, because this is the digits 1 to 9, this cage here. And I've already placed a 1. So if you remember, the black Kropke sets are 1 2 4 or 8, but no 1s at the moment. So either I have a 2 4 or a 4 8 pair, but I have 2 of these. So the other one is a 3 6 pair. And it cannot be this one because I've got a 3, 6 looking at this cell, leaving no option for it. So this is 3, 6. Now, the reason I'm kind of sort of taking a look at this cage at all, if I'm honest, is if I can put a 1 on here, it tells me a lot about this Rembrandt line. And it would require me to put a 2, and the only place the 2 could be is actually in here. So if that's a 1, I have to put, this is how many cells? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So this is an 8-cell Rembrandt line. I actually know where this 3, 6 is. I might have to actually start coloring these 3, 6s given how many they seem to be occurring. So this is either 1 through to 8 or 2 through to 9. And I kind of need to figure out which one it is. But it almost doesn't matter anymore because I know that there has to be a 2 on this Rembrandt line, regardless of whether this is 1 or 4. Now, all of these are in the same box. We've just shown that this has to be 3, 6. That's the 2. This 3, 6, whatever it may be, I will color code these now, has to be somewhere on this line. But it's none of these cells, because again, I've got a 3, 6 pair in here. This 3, 6 pair can actually see all of these. It's not that one. That's the 3, 6. That's orange, therefore. Rest of this Rembrandt line means there is a bluish one in here. Therefore, this is orange. This is blue. This is orange. This is blue. Wasn't expecting I'll have to do a bit of coloring, but why not? Now, it also means I need 5, 7 on this Rembrandt line, 3. So I still need to place, well, I've actually placed them with the 3, 6s. So 5 and 7 are still to be placed. I'm ignoring the 1s and 4s at the moment, and 8, pardon me, just because I've got this pencil mark, so I don't actually know where it is. 8 is telling us there is an 8 this way. 5 and 7 are unfortunately unclear as of now. What's interesting though is if I actually know what some of these 3, 6s are, I get to understand the polarity of this Dutch Whispers line. Incredible. 1, 2, 3, 6 tells me this is 4, 8. I have 5, 7, and 9 in here. 1, 7 pair tells me that's the 7. I actually now know something about the polarity, which is very helpful. And this is 5 or 9. This is not a 5. A 5 needs to be surrounded by a 9 and a 1. The 9 is not available if it is a 5. The 1 is not available because it's already pencil marked. That's the 9. That's the 5. We have a bit of a breakthrough now. 9 here means this is a 3. And in fact, we can actually select all the blue 3s now. Not this one. Whoop, whoop. All of these, they are 3. All of these, they are 6s. And whoop, 6s. What did I do wrong there? I colored something the wrong way around. Yeah, that's, excuse me, 3, that's 6. These are not 6. This is 6, 6. And what I was trying to correct is the color of this one. I won't necessarily need it anymore, but I'm going to leave it for now. I don't know how useful this will remain. Now, we know that this is now the 8. We know that these are 2 and 6. 6 too close to the 9. It's only 3 away, so that's the 2. That's the 7. That's the 1. That's the 6. 1 is always dangerous because it could go to a 5 or higher and sort of flip the polarity. So I'm just going to take a look at what this 6 and 7 are telling me. So it needs to be 4 away. I've already got a 2. This has to be 1. 1 is again dangerous in that there are many options. So I'm not liking the double 1. It's going to confuse me. Do I now know this 1-4? No. Place 2, I've placed 3. This is a 4-8 pair. In fact, I actually know the order of that. That's the 4, that's the 8, 8, 8, 2, 4. And therefore, I know what these two digits are. They are 9 and 7. Not very helpful. Obviously, if I knew if this is a 1 or 4, I can actually place this as either, well, if this was a 1, this is definitely a 7. I think that's what I was trying to say and not articulating it very well. But actually, the fact that the 7 and 9 are in the box and they see now, because we already placed these two digits outside of this box for this Rembrandt line, if this is 9, where would I put the 7 on this Rembrandt line? So this is in fact a 7, this is in fact a 9, and although I don't actually know if this is the 1, I have to place 1 and 4 on all of these cells. And I know now that these are, this is not an 8 either, this is the 8. This is 1, 4, 5, and this is 1, 4, 5 as well. It's not 4 though, although I pencil marked it as a 3. Just to sort of throw me off and see if I'm paying attention clearly. And then this is a solid Rembrandt line. Now this 8, because remember we've got all of the digits 1 to 9 in here, these two 8s have eliminated quite a few places where this could be. So an 8 is definitely in here somewhere in this cage. An 8 with a 4 is still very plausible, because I actually need a 4 in here. This is not an 8 either, because there's an 8 looking at it, there's an 8 looking at that. That is the 8, that's the 4. I was saying I need a 4 in this cage, and it's not here either. It's up there. So we are missing 5 and 9. This is not the 9, this is the 5, this is the 9. That's not a 5, that's a 1-4 pair. That's the 5. Fantastic. So we have a 1-4 and a 7-9. No, we don't have a 1-4, we've got a 1-4 pair. We have a 7-9 and a 6. And I don't know what it is or where they are. I can't disambiguate any of them just yet. We have a 4 looking at this one. That's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 4. We actually know what these two cells are. They are 9, and it's not on the black Kropke dot. And 2 by the looks of things, making this 1 or 4. If it's 1, it breaks because it needs to go back up to 2. Therefore, this is a 4, and it's not coming back up to down to 2. It's an 8. Gives us the 4 and 8 over here. We actually have polarity again to come at the 1 from the other direction. We know that this is low and is 4 away. It's not 4, it's not 1, it's not 2, it is a 3. This has to be relatively high at 7 or 9, or obviously 8 again. 7 is not available, 8 is not available, that's the 9. And is that, can I do low? Yeah, this is almost certainly low. I can't place a 5 in here anymore. So 5 in here would require a 1 in there, which would break. 5 is only in here now. This is the high digit that's left, sorry, the low digit that's left, which is a 2. And this is the high digit that's left, that's the 6. 9 is looking down here, that's 3, that's 5, not 6, that's 5 as well, that's not 3, that's the 7-9 pair. Unresolved, of course. And 7-9 in here. This is not a 9. In fact, neither of these are a 9. This is a 6-7 pair. And therefore this is a 9. This is a 7, 9, 7. And then I have 1 and 3. I know the order of that. 1 and 3. We're very much at the home stretch at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need a 5. It can only be in here. and then I need a 7. And of course I don't know how to disambiguate that. 1, 7, 9, actually 6, looking at this 3, this 6. 1, 7, 9 means this is 1, 7, or 9. It is a 9. Got a 1, 7 already placed in the row. Therefore that's 7, that's 1, that's 7, that's 9. I definitely touched the wrong cell there, that's 9. I need to finish this off with 2 and 3. I need a 1 somewhere in this box, which can only be in here. A 5, which can only be in there. This is known. This is a 6, 7, 6. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's the answer to today's puzzle. Fantastic. I absolutely loved it. So it is still, in my opinion, a 1-star difficulty rating as it is currently rated. But I think it is actually a lot more involved than a lot of those sort of 1-star difficulty rated puzzles, because you kind of need to really be paying attention to the interplay between the Rembrandt lines, the black Kropke dots, the cages. It's just... And then sort of be very wary of the Dutch whispers lines. You know, you should always be very wary of them because they can just flip on you in surprising ways. But it's just incredibly involved. And despite it being incredibly involved, still tells a story. It's just amazing construction. Truly amazing construction. So, Willpower, I mean, absolutely adore your puzzles. Please keep them coming. I know you're shooting for 1 every 3 days. I really do look forward to them, as I'm sure others on this channel are as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I feel reasonably confident that you have, and see you back for the next one. Bye for now.